Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to another post-game analysis. I'm your host Joe Mara.
I'm Rush.
And this is Standout Sports TV, the place you guys come to get best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet.
Yes, people, but before we get into today's video, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment under the video and subscribe to Standout Sports TV. One more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get to 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day?
Yes. And we're here to do another post-game analysis of the second semi-final in the Champions Cup. You know, we're watching some really good games and we're here to talk about this one. It was Kingston College versus Clarendon College. Really, really good game. But before we break down the game, let's take a recap.
So the game started off, and considering that Kingston College are out of the Manning Cup, the Champions Cup is all they had to play for, and we saw them go for it. Starting, I think, their very best team possible, and they went out. And the game kicked off, and as we expected, Clarendon College took the game in a stranglehold, and they continued to outpossess and outpass Kingston College, getting an opportunity in the very, very beginning of the game, you know, getting past the keeper, but blame Bayam with an amazing save off the line, and I think that save would prove instrumental. So only a few moments later, what would transpire can only be defined by one word: madness. Dejan Richard picked up the ball in his own half, and like Lionel Messi, he took it past one, past two, past three players, and just when you thought he was going to continue to go and continue to dribble it for the rest of the time, he kicked it from about 25 yards out with that immaculate left foot, and it nestled into the far corner. The Clarendon College goalkeeper had no idea, you know, and just like that, it was Kingston College 1 against the run of play. And when I say against the run of play, I mean absolutely against the run of play. Kingston College 1, Clarendon College 0. And after that, Clarendon College would still continue, would still be at Kingston College's throat. They would still outpossess them. They would still be knocking on the door, until a mishap in the midfield. You know, ball was intercepted. Samuel Shakes got it, played it through to Whisper, and he just dribbled some more. And when he was facing the goalkeeper, he just towed it with that left foot that I just spoke about, between the keeper's legs. Kingston College 2, Clarendon College 0, against the run of play. And that's exactly how the half would end. Basically a story of Clarendon College having all the position, Kingston College having Dejan Richards. And then the second half would kick off, and we'd continue to see more of the same. Clarendon College would dominate. Clarendon College started to get into the game now. You know, they started to move the ball wide. They started to create chances. You know, they had a few corner kicks that caused some mayhem in the box, but it didn't result in anything. And a miscontrol by just the slightest of margins by their wing back. Dejan Richards got a toe to it, and he kicked it and he ran. And just like that, he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. And he finished it also amazingly. Now it was 3-0. And it seemed as though the game was done. Just like that, Dejan Richards, by himself, absolutely ended this fixture. However, Clarendon College, having the fight that they possessed, you know, they made some substitutions who had an absolutely amazing game. And from a square that came in, he finished it with what you can consider one of the best finishes you will see. A scissors kick, some might say a bicycle kick. All I know, it was extremely acrobatic. Bang! Malik Williams in goal had no chance. He had no option. He had no opportunity to save it. He just had to watch it go in. An amazing goal. But the Whisper show was not over. And just like that, Clarendon College losing the ball again. And the ball was played through to Mattis. And with one amazing touch, Mattis curved it around the defenders who had their back faced to the game. And Dejan Richards, one time with his right foot, across the goalkeeper. 4 goals.
Oh, you don't have to laugh, bro, because it's just an outstanding game. Yeah. I can't remember watching a Schoolboy and seeing that performance. That's probably the best Schoolboy performance I've seen. Continue.
But the drama in the game was still not done yet, and Clarendon College's fight was not extinguished. You know, and Daniel Clark, as I mentioned before, he took up the ball he took up the ball on his feet, took up the game in his hands, and he banged it from outside of the box, leaving the keeper with no chance again. You know, towards the end of the game, Dejan Richards would have gotten another opportunity, and you know, he was a bit indecisive in the one-on-one situation, allowing the keeper to get a hand to it. You know, then Dejan Richards would continue to break down the wing. You know, on the few opportunities that Kingston College would get, Dejan Richards would pick up the ball and he'd get 2 2 beautiful squares into the Kingston College forwards, but they were not able to convert. At the end of the game, it was Clarendon College with all the positions, Kingston College with most of the goals. And that's how the story finished, 4-2.
There we go. You know what we saw today? The best player in schoolboy football versus the best team in schoolboy football. And we can say we saw who won today. The best player won today. And not on many days you will see the best player win.
Yeah, not on many days.
A lot of times you'll see, that best player playing and not the best team. And even so, we will never get the opportunity to see how good some of these attacking players are for Clarendon College because of the system that they play.
Yeah.
They don't depend heavily on their wingers or their attacking players. They play a system, they pass that ball well, they possess that ball. I love to see the possession stats today. It's at least 70-30, at least. I feel like Clarendon College had most of the ball and Kingston College came today.
I would say closer to 65-35.
Man, maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's how well Clarendon College possessed the ball today. They were absolutely running the show in terms of having the ball. Kingston College did a great job in terms of limiting their opportunities and clear opportunities in the first half, and I'd say for most of the second half. But towards the back end of that second half, they turned it up and they got their chances and they took some of them. But I feel like Kingston College, their game plan today kind of worked to a T. The game plan, I spoke to the coach. The game plan was to 10 man behind the ball because we were never going to outpossess them. We were never going to win that midfield battle. We know the players that we have. We have good players, but we don't have the best players in schoolboy football. This CC team, they are going to outpossess us. What we do have, though, is one of the strongest, the best, one of the fastest, one of the most clinical players in the Manning Cup. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to counter-attack them. And whenever we get that ball, we're going to get it to Whisper as fast as possible and allow him to be the best player. These are his words, by the way. We are going to allow him to be the best player in schoolboy football. And that's exactly what he did today. Unfortunately for Clarendon College, all that beautiful football, all that, passing it around and keeping the Kingston College off the ball did not work out. We play football, and one thing that a coach will always say to you, they can't score if they don't have the ball. They can't score if they don't have the ball. They won the game without having the ball today.
And you spoke about that. And in the beginning of my recap, I mentioned a Blaine Byam clearance off the goal line. Do you know how pivotal that might have ended up? Because of that clearance by Blaine Byam. Kingston College defenders, they played good today. They had a very good game. Blaine Byam, he was there all the time. I think he could have been a bit more decisive with his passes and his clearances. I think technically he could have had a better game, but as it relates to stopping Clarendon College from getting to your goal, I think the defenders did exactly that, and that's one of the reasons why they ended up with the win. So let's start off by commending Kingston College's defenders first and foremost for limiting Clarendon College to only two goals on a day against a team that can get 4 and 5 easily. That's the first thing that I'd like to say.
Hey, and I agree with you, but for a second, let's talk about a little bit of the tactics in the game.
Yeah.
Because we have an argument, and we spoke about it off here, but let's see what the people think. Because there are strong arguments for both sides of this. You're facing the best player in schoolboy football. You
By
are the best,
an unequivocal margin.
right, and you're Lenny Hyde. You have the best team. You have one of the best defenses. You have a really good midfielder. You have a really good midfield, sorry. What do you do? Do you come into this game and say, because I was saying, Lenny Hyde, they need to do a better job of getting your players to be a bit closer to Whisper.
Yeah.
Whether you have the ball or not, somebody need to be around Whisper at all times, because the only way Kingston College could have scored today is if Dujan Whisper Richards took them on his back and scored the goals. Now, if there was not an outlet to him, he couldn't have scored 4 goals. Now, what would you say to that?
Well, obviously, when in possession of the ball, if Kingston College is in possession of the ball, which was not very often today, I definitely agree that there should always be a player on Dujan Richards if Casey has the ball. However, the way Clarendon College plays, the way they possess the ball, the way how they utilize their wing backs and their central defenders in their attack, I think it would have been a waste of a player to, while Clarendon College are in possession, to leave a player on Dujan Richards and to play 10 and 10. However, though I believe that it might have been a waste of position, had Leonard Hyde done that from the beginning of the game, at least 2 of these goals would not have been scored. So it's kind of pick your poison in a way, and we saw him resort to it later in the game where he had his right back, play solely on Dujan Richards. Whether Clarendon College were in or out of position, he just told him to stick to the player. So what that did was limit Clarendon College's ability to dominate a team with the full force of their full complement of players. However, I think it helped in slowing down Whisper, and it helped serve as an insurance policy for the inevitable occasion that Clarendon College makes a mistake.
All right, so on this tactical adjustment, what it does is it gives you a chance to play the occasion. Because a lot of teams, you want to come and you want to impose yourself on the team that you're playing, especially if you're better than them, which Clarendon College they are. It's safe to say they are better than Kingston College. No. Lenworth Hyde came into this game thinking that he's going to impose his style of play, impose his quality on Kingston College. Kingston College, knowing what is going to happen, they don't think they're going to impose themselves on Clarendon College. They're going to play the occasion. Okay, we have decent enough midfielders. We probably could try and keep the ball for 5 minutes and lose it once every couple of minutes and they will score goals or whatever. We can try to play football with them, but guess what? We're going to play the occasion. We're going to counter-attack. Okay, we're a little bit better than resorting ourselves to a counter-attacking team, but we're going to play counter-attack. I feel like if Lenworth had played the occasion a bit better, the score could have been a bit closer, and Whisper wouldn't have scored 4 goals if he played the occasion rather than trying to impose himself regardless of whoever is playing. And I feel like, obviously in hindsight it's easy to say no, and we're not the coach and we don't know the players that Lenworth Hyde have today and how good they are. We obviously think they are really good, but this is what he thinks and he had to live with it. I feel like had he done what I said, it would have at least made this game a bit closer, because I can't promise that it would have won them the game.
Yeah, my perspective is that I don't think it's great.
Definitely not pretty.
Tactically, while being in position, having a player marking. You always, when playing football, you're always like, why are you marking the player? Your team have the ball. That's something that we've heard growing up playing football. Like, why are you marking? Get into space. Your team has the ball. What Lenworth Hyde ended up doing towards the end of the game was, who cares if your team has the ball? Stay on that number 20. And I think that inhibited the way he wanted to play football. However, when playing against a menace like Dujon Richards, I guess the sacrifice has to be made.
You have to play the occasion. Talk to me about some players that you feel like stood out for Clarendon College. One, let's talk about the guy that we, had it. If Clarendon College, if this game drew, if it was not 4-2, even if Whisper scored 2 goals, I feel like this player would have gotten a mention anyways. And it's Daniel Green. Speak to me about him for a second.
Daniel Clark.
Yeah, why did I say Daniel Green?
He came off the bench, as a substitute, and he absolutely did exactly what Lenworth Hyde wanted from a substitute. He came on and he dominated the game. He came on and he was assertive, he was aggressive and he had intention. I say that he came on and he changed the game. An amazing player and an amazing substitution by the coach to boot.
Yeah, and although they conceded 4 goals,
yeah,
and we can say it was individual effort, most of them. All of them, sorry. Not most of them. All of them were individual efforts. A player that I have to mention is a defender, and he was outstanding in the quarterfinals game. But I have to mention him again, and it's Devontae Hodges, their number 6. He's so composed, he's so good. And we saw him getting into a personal spot with Whisper, and he still kept his head. He didn't get a yellow card. Whisper didn't bait him into getting a card. And I feel like even though he conceded 4 goals today, he was still good on the day.
Can I say that he's one of, if not the best defender in schoolboy football?
Say it.
He has everything. He has the ability to pass the ball. He has the ability to think the game. He has the ability to buck the ball very well. He's very good in the air. He's good at dribbling the ball out of the defense. And I bet my life savings he can score a goal or 2. He's just that talented. And his ability to read the game, his ability to make the right decisions all the time is why he's one of the best defenders. It is so unfortunate that he played against Dujon Richards, and the goals that Dujon Richards scored, it was his midfield. Yeah. His midfield lost the ball. And Dujon Richards and his teammates, Samuel Shakes, Nashada Gibbs, Mattis, so on and so forth, capitalized on Clarendon College's mistakes to lose the ball. But Hodges, an amazing performance, an amazing player, and unfortunate result for him today.
All right, there we have it. Kingston College ultimately winning the game 4 to Clarendon College's 2. They made a great effort. And Daniel Clark, in the dying embers of the game, tried. He tried to do what Whisper was doing, because that scissors kick, he had no reason to do that.
The audacity.
He had the audacity to try that scissors kick in Kingston College penalty area. And even the second goal. One thing we were talking about before we came on here, we at least saw 3 or 4 goal of the season in schoolboy football today. What a game, producing some awesome goals. And I spoke to the coach, spoke to the Kingston College coach, and I said, what did you say to Whisper today? And I have to say it to the people, because we have some inside information. I have to tell them. Raymond Watson went to Whisper before the game, and he said that I riled him up. I got him upset. People are talking about who's the best player in the Manning Cup, Whisper, he said to him. Go out there today. End the conversation. Show them that you are the best player in the Manning Cup. That's what he dared him to do.
My question,
that's what he did
question
today.
To you, Rush. Did he end the debate?
The debate is end. I feel like before today, we knew who was the best player in the Manning Cup, and definitely in schoolboy football, and definitely in Manning Cup. I feel like today, he ended the debate. Which is the best player in Schoolboy football?
And before we get done with it, we have to speak about at least one other standout player for Kingston College. You know, I think Blaine Byam deserves a mention today. You know, he did what he needed to do. You know, he had a last gas save. He was very good in the corners, and he made very good tackles, helping his team win the game. Speak to the people about Blaine Byam.
What I like about Blaine Byam is the leadership ability.
Yeah.
You know, what he does off the ball in terms of speaking to his players, in terms of defending his players. Because we see a lot of time, you know, Kingston College have some smaller players, you know, especially at their wing back and some of their midfield positions. Even some of their wingers and forwards, they're small. So what a lot of teams try to do is get into them. You know, give them a dirty tackle, give them a hard tackle, push them around, try to tease them a little bit and get them, you know, get in their heads. Yeah. And we see Blaine Byam coming to the rescue every single time. He will ask, what are you doing? You know, he'll push them back. He'll say, yo, get off my player. You know, and I like that. I like a player, I like a defender. Obviously, he spoke about his abilities, technical game, but I'm going to speak about intangibles. He's a leader, man. Yeah. And we see a lot of captains in the Manning Cup, but you know, a lot of teams, they don't have, you know, a real dominant leader, and Blaine Byam is a leader. I have to mention that.
Definitely that one. And we've said all that needs to be said about Dejan Richards, you know, the man of the match, scoring 4 goals, you know, 3 with the left and 1 with the right, and he should have gotten 2 or 3 assists. You know, he made some beautiful passes.
Outstanding.
An amazing game.
There we go. People, 2 really good games we saw today, and we did our best to analyze them. Let us know, what do you think about, you know, little mini debate that we had, you know, in the middle of this? Should Lenny Hyde, you know, put a man and whisper to man mark him, stop him from scoring 4 goals, or would that have, you know, they would have lost the game anyways because they couldn't have attacked the way they wanted to attack? Let us know in the comment section. People, if you like this video, like the video, man, leave a comment under the video and subscribe to this or that Sports TV.
And share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can do that, do you know how many subscribers that would get us by the end of the day?
Yes, a lot. But people, for now, leaving, where are we?
The National Stadium.
Yeah. This was This or That Sports TV.
And we're out.
Yes, sir.